Hey everyone, it's Connor back from This Old Farm, and today we are not out at the farm. It's actually a Thursday. It's June 20th, and that means it's Red Power Roundup. We are down in Iowa, Spencer, Iowa, at the, is it Clay County Fairgrounds? Yep, Clay County Fairgrounds. And we are here checking out Red Power Roundup. So we're here for the full weekend, the full 4 days. We'll take plenty of video for you guys, show off plenty of equipment and tractors and stuff, and we'll see what cool stuff we can find. So I'm gonna go take a peek at stuff first, and then I'll kind of bring you guys back with and kind of show off the specialty stuff, I guess, as we go along, and we'll see what we come up with and find. We'll probably do this in a 4-day thing, or maybe we'll do 2 parts, 2 days and per a part or something like that. We'll figure out how this goes, but yeah, we'll talk to you guys when we come back. F20. It's got a overdrive kit on it and some lighting, some electrical stuff. I don't know if it's got the starter on it, but it's got lights on it. It's got the gear cam driven distributor on it. No starter. Or does it? I don't know. We got a starter button out there, but I don't see a starter. Got a pretty cool, another one over here, regular, with a 22B corn picker on it. Pretty neat how they have these hooked up. On the PTO, there's a belt pulley that runs, a belt driven pulley on here. When you want to raise or lower the loader, you move your lever side to side. That puts tension on your belt here, and that therefore runs up to the front of the drive shaft there and runs that cable spool around. It's pretty neat how they did things back in the day. Got them to work. It's a little F12 with the loader, cable loader on it. It's a cool one. This is a B120 pickup, all-wheel drive, with a feed wagon on it. Load your feet up in the tub here, and then that little spout on the other side would be where you unload. And there's all your gearing to run everything. There would be the bottom of the tray that dumps it out that way. Pretty neat. Now this one here, I believe this was an aftermarket thing. I don't think this came from International like this, but it's a Travelall 1210, and I think Stageway is who made them. It's an extended. It's supposed to seat like 13 people or something like that in the back. I can't remember exact numbers. If I can pull it up, I'll see if I can find the old advertising for these. But they were just an extended out Travelall. Added some doors to it, and I think they were kind of mainly used out in like the sand dunes and stuff for doing tours. It's pretty cool. This is 340 utility with a 235 front loader and a 250 backhoe on it. Tiny little machine, but I bet it did a lot of work. Another out of the ordinary one here. This is a Super C diesel. Now you might be wondering, well, International never made a Super C diesel in the American market. Well, no, it was from the French market. That's why it is a Super FCD, Super French Cub, or C diesel. Not a whole lot different. They had to have their marker lights to be road legal for the French regulations. That's why a few like different headlight placement and stuff on it. Horn gauge specific to the French. Here's a Farm Model H with a example of a mounted implement. Now we've got our use of the belly pump hole down there, which you don't always see used, and what it's got on the back is a 2-row corn planter. It's a model number H110. I believe that bracket there that can swing back and forth is for your markers. Changes which marker goes down depending on which way it's turned. It's pretty cool. Everything's driven off of your tire, so there's a sprocket down there on the inside of the axle, right there. That drives down there and then comes over into the middle of the planter and drives your shaft for that spins the plates inside of the pots. Pretty cool. Well, this is kind of cool. So this is a 2544, which is the same thing as a 544. This is a utility model, or industrial model, that's what the 2 stands for, and a hydro. And I was looking at it and I'm wondering, where the heck is the hydro lever? Because if we look at the standard farm version, the hydro lever is a handle that you move with your hand, of course. But on the industrial model here, there's no hand lever. You've got your one on the other side for the high-low, like this one has here, but there's no hand lever for the forward and reverse. Well, that's because it's pedal operated. You got your forward and your reverse pedal for your hydro. I've never seen anything like that, and that's pretty cool. I just wanted to share that with you guys, how they operate that on the industrial model. These would both be considered utility high clears, I think, because the utilities would sit lower, I believe. So I believe these would be high clear versions, and then of course this one here is the industrial version. That would be the farm version. So pretty neat. Here's a neat one. This is a 1940M, same year as my M, with a 1943 1M corn picker. I don't think I've ever seen a 1-row corn picker mounted on an M before. These mounted corn pickers are always so cool, but so crude at the same time. There's a couple of neat ones. This is a 806 diesel Wheatland with a ICB cab on it that has the air conditioning unit on it still. Of course, that was optional equipment. I don't know if that was IH offered or not, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. You might be able to see the AC compressor stuff up there. Let's see, where are we? There we are. Maybe you guys can see that, but controls and stuff for it. It's got the standard U-drawbar like the Wheatlands had, with a number 402 pull behind combine. Pretty neat unit. There's also a number 80 pull type combine over here behind a Super MTA with a fast hitch. Looks like somebody at one point bent the drawbar up on it. A little bit of an oopsies, I guess. And then I wanted to show you guys this one too. 1026 Hydro High Crop. Pretty neat. Quite the machine here. It's an F30, sorry, with a Ford V8 in it. Tandem rear drive with a cab on it even. Somebody's put a lot of time into this. The Super H over here. Stage 1, it doesn't have the live hydraulics on it, with cultivator set. And 1939 F30 with number 3 corn picker. Pretty neat. Well, that marks the end of day 1. It's about almost closing time. Cut out a little early because things are kind of closing up because of the rain and stuff. So when we come back tomorrow, we'll bring you guys back. We'll bring you more action. We'll see more things. Hopefully tomorrow's not quite as rainy. I guess we'll find out. But I got a half-an-hour drive to the hotel, and then we get set up for tonight's live stream because it's Thursday night, which means it's a video night, and I didn't get anything last weekend for you guys because it rained and was hot and muggy, and so we gotta do a live stream tonight. So catch you guys on the live stream. Of course, by the time you see this, it'll already be that time, but anyways, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Well, good morning. It's day 2 of Red Power Roundup here, and more rain last night. Holy cow, we got a lot of rain. I feel bad for you Iowan people. It's pretty tough down here. I don't think I've seen one field that doesn't have standing water in it, and today I drove by a lumber yard that a couple of bundles busted open because their lot flooded out. And there's actually a propane company that they can't even get into their lot because the road is flooded over. They closed one lane of the highway, and there's water surrounding their building. It looks like it's in the middle of a pond. So it's pretty tough shape down here, especially compared to back home. So anyhow, they got us parked way the heck up on the hill there. I don't know why. I had a better parking spot out here yesterday than I did this morning, and I got out here later yesterday than I did today. So I don't know how that works, but anyhow, we're gonna get in the gates. We got our wristband still, so our weekend wristband, so I'll talk to you guys when we're inside again. Here's the high clear versions of all these tractors. This is a Super MTA, 400 diesel, 400 gas, 350, 450 gas, and of course on the letter series they were the MV, and then when they went to the number series they were just had high clear for under the badging. They've got the big drop down front axle with added supports, and then the drop down rear axles, and then a regular old 544. Come up to this is a 1456, and what I really wanted to show you was the rollover plow they have behind it. These are a major thing in the European market. International number 145. And there's another one that I'll have to go show you guys, and that'll maybe be our next clip where we'll head to next. Very nice 1456 with the plow on it. Well, here we got a Super MTA diesel. This is what I was just telling you guys about. And this has the International rollover plow. It's a 2-bottom rollover plow, 2-point mount. Except this one, instead of just being with the hydraulic cylinder, it's got a chain on there to help with the rollover, and the hydraulic cylinder moves the chain back and forth. Very nicely restored. It's a demonstrator model plow. So just like the gold tractors, these gold plows would go out in the field, and that would be their dealership demonstration to show you how good the plow worked on a nicely restored 560 gas. Very nicely done, 6588, 2+2. With the factory fast hit or quick hitch. Kind of another cool one. This is a Super HTA. Now, of course, those UIH guys know that International never made a Super HTA, and usually what the case is with these is somebody took a Farmall 300 or 350 and put essentially H materials on it. The pedestal from an H, the standard, the box assembly, because the box assemblies, battery box assemblies were different between the letter series and the number series. And then H sheet metal on it and everything. So it's always kind of a neat concept, what kind of could have been. I believe there were a couple experimental ones of these built, but International scrapped those before anybody could get their hands on them. So people have kind of recreated them, like I say, with the putting 2 tractors into one essentially. So kind of neat. Always an interesting piece to see. Over here in this little outdoor arena, we got a International tractor loader backhoe. Some of you guys hate it when I call them that. 3600, the 3600A loader, as well as the International dozer. And I'll see if I can, there's no sticker on the side of it. Let's see if we can. No, that's for the truck. The truck is a Fleetstar 2000. Nothing for the door. Oh, it's a 500 with the Drott 4-in-1 bucket blade, whatever you want to call it. Pretty cool setup he's got here. Train back up and get you guys a wide angle shot. Pretty neat. Kind of different, you don't see all the time. This is a loader on a International 284 From my understanding, I think these are the ones that are kind of hard to get parts for, because I believe they were a joint venture between International and Mitsubishi. Or Komatsu, that's what it was. You can see on the plate there, IH and Komatsu. The Quickway loader. This here is a 1950 Cub demonstrator. Now, back in the demonstration days when International did these, for those of you that don't know, International painted them white. That's why you can see the white on the tractor. And then once the dealership sold the tractor, they were informed by the company to paint them red again. Hence why there's red covering it. So when these started showing through, like on the inside of the fender here, you started to see the white that came through the red, because of course the red wasn't a factory paint job. It was just painted over the white, and not a lot of prep work was put into it, so the red came off quickly and easily, and the white stuck on. So that's how we came up with the white demonstrators. Now of course not all of them got painted red again, and that's why some of them existed originally even as white. Got the little single cylinders at work here. This one's running a little water pump. Rather than running it manually by a handle. We did have this one on yesterday. This was running the washing machine. Belt driven down there. Flat belt. We'll do a little demonstration for you guys. Corn grinder. Here we got the corn sheller. Another one that's driving the conveyor belt for the corn sheller. I went over here yesterday, he had another one. A little bit bigger version. This is almost like a scaled down version of one that would be driven by a tractor. But that's all right and proper. It's not a homemade thing. It's made by International. Neat thing you don't see every day. This is a 6-cylinder power unit. Looks like it might have even been propane, or maybe it was in a building, maybe natural gas. U282 LP power unit. Another kind of oddball one here. This is a Cub Vineyard model. As you can tell, not a lot of room for yourself up on there. These are meant for going down the vine lanes, the vine rows in between each row, for doing their spraying and mowing and whatnot. I don't know if this one's was manufactured from the factory this way, but there were a couple like this. Some people have recreated them over the years, but I would hate to be the one to have to operate that all day. Got a little 782 hot rod over here. A little mini V8 in her. .8. Little 4-wheel drive, homemade, home-built custom Cub Cadet. You see they're using 2782s and an 1864. Articulating, 3-point hit, sphere hydraulics, everything. Whole shebang. Here's a number 100 with a trenching unit on the back of it. This one's a pretty neat piece, actually a very cool piece. This is a Farmall 400. Now you might think, okay, 400, not a big deal, but it's the very first one off of the assembly line. 501 was what International's starting serial number 1 was. So that is the very first one off of the assembly line. And while we're on the topic of 501s, here's the first serial number Cub. A little Cub Lowboy. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a tiller or a brush cutter on here. There's no tag with information to it. Belt driven off of the back. Somebody painted it pretty pink. There's a Farmall Super M with a M21 till planter. And it's a propane conversion even.